Welcome back to Every Day is a Gift, presented by the Citrus team of HPH Hospice. Still joined by my good friend Wendy, and we're so happy again to have our National Award-winning volunteer, Paula Haydon, who's still here with us with her wonderful award. And we were talking during the break about some different unique things that you've seen in your time volunteering with HPH Hospice, just really how, with the help of our volunteers, we're able to do so many unique things for our patients as well as their families. Maybe you could share one of those stories.
Well, one of the things that I saw our hospice house do, where I do most of my volunteering, is to get a husband and wife together who, because of illness, were not able to spend any time or to see each other. What happened was the one person was in the hospice house, and then the spouse got sick and ended up in the hospital. Neither of them were able to travel. So our HPH hospice hired transportation so that they could take our hospice patient on a stretcher and bring her to the hospital where she could lay next to her husband and they could talk and hold each other, and it was a very moving experience. Of course, we've had weddings at hospice where our chaplains will perform a wedding, and people who've been married for 50 years want to renew their vows. That's always very exciting.
Probably baptisms and all
yes,
kinds
we've had baptisms, all sorts
yeah.
of wonderful things. And of course, anything that goes on like that, we always throw a party. An excuse, we throw a party. We've got a big porch, so if they can't get out of bed, we just roll the whole bed out onto the porch and crank up the barbecue grill or whatever it is they want to do, make cakes. And
we often get the comment from people in the community, especially when they come and visit our office or when they go to our facilities here in Citrus County, our care center or our house. They're surprised at how uplifting it is and how it's not a gloomy place at all, but everybody's usually very upbeat, and especially the fact that we do have things like parties going on, yes, or birthday celebrations or anniversary celebrations, and the staff sometimes will bring in party hats and there's cakes, and it's always something going on, and people are shocked by that. And from a volunteer, you've seen really firsthand all that we really can do.
That's right. As a matter of fact, right now our staff is all walking around with dealy bobbers going of snowflake and reindeers and so forth, and we try and keep it very happy. Of course, there are going to be sad times, and when there are sad times, you've got your fellow volunteers and your staff to support you and help you work through any of the grief issues you might have. But almost always, it's happy, because we're about life. We're not trying to make things quiet and don't bother someone. We're about living the best you can every day that you have.
And that's the way we should all live all the time, but those of us that work around hospice, we're reminded of that daily.
Yes.
That's right, and because of that, I think it makes all of our lives a lot better than it would be otherwise, because it's something that we think about on a regular basis, and we learn so much from our patients.
Jaysen, I don't know if you saw Bay News 9 recently. There was a nice segment that ran over and over and over about Paula, and we were really proud of you, and it was really neat. But I also have a quote here that is very interesting. It says, Paula says she doesn't know what kind of person she would have been if she didn't find hospice, but she knows her life would lack many of the things that she counts as blessings. Isn't that neat?
That's very profound, yes.
Very profound. Did you actually say that? It's in writing. It has to be true.
I guess I must have.
How can we encourage people that have thought about hospice but didn't quite make the connection to get involved with hospice?
Well, a lot of people don't sign up to volunteer at hospice because they think that they're going to have to work with the patients. And you can always just start in a small way. You might be a courier. You might do office work. You might sit at health fairs and explain what we're all about. There are many, many jobs at hospice for volunteers. It's a very long list, and you can go in there, try it. You don't like it, then you can try something else and go on until you find something you like. You might be good at computers, and we always have data entry and so forth, or you might be filing.
But every single thing that all the volunteers do and that all the staff do is supports patient care. So you're contributing greatly no matter what it is. And not everybody wants to do patient care. And but I always encourage people to come to orientation because it's just interesting, and it gives them a lot of information that they may have for their neighbor, their dad, whether they volunteer or not. And I think we can, get them involved if we can just get them to come to the orientation.
You're absolutely right. There's so many people who misunderstand what hospice is about. And if they can go to an orientation or even just have a good long talk with someone who works or volunteers at hospice so that they understand what we can do to help them, it's a great asset.
Well, you are a wonderful ambassador for HPH Hospice, as well as now you're an ambassador for NHPCO, which is the National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization. And we're very, very proud of you, and we really want to thank you for coming and giving us these great spirited words, which are perfect for the end of the year.
They really are, especially in the holiday season here. There should be people giving of themselves as you have to us. So now that you have this great honor, which again is a very rare thing that they only give out once or twice, 1 or 2 times a year to volunteers from all over the nation, is it kind of like Miss America now? You're going to have to go and give different talks at different places for NHPCO?
I have been doing that.
Oh, okay.
And it's wonderful to be able to represent HPH Hospice. It's even better to be able to represent hospice volunteers from all over the United States.
Yes.
Because I'm sure I'm not the best volunteer in the whole United States. I happen to be the one who was chosen this year. And so I feel that I'm representing them wherever I go.
That's great. Well, I can tell you this is a wonderful honor, and at HPH Hospice we're even more honored to have you as our volunteer, as well as all of our great volunteers, just to give back so much. Wendy and I, even this morning, we were sitting in our office, and one of our great volunteers who helped us out came in, and all the volunteers, Paula, including yourself, you're all always looking to do more and always asking, can I help with something else? Well, how about I help you with this? And I don't think that we could really function as an organization without our volunteers.
That's true, and it's so personal to us. I mean, the patients appreciate you, but our staff appreciates everything as well. So,
and that's why we keep coming back as volunteers, because we see that appreciation from the patients and from the staff.
Well, congratulations, Paula,
Thank you.
and thank you so much for everything you do, from all the staff as well as, I'm sure, all of our patients and their families.
Thank you. Thank you.
And everybody who's watching, stay tuned, and we'll be back after a short break with our next guest.